Hey, how you doing, guys? Welcome to another episode of the EC Twins podcast. Alistair, do you want to tell them what we're going to talk about today?
Yes, today we're going to talk about celebrity culture and is it over? In fact, are celebrities over in general? Obviously, we live in Los Angeles now and we've experienced the decline of it. We've discussed it.
Yeah, I don't know if celebrities can ever be over. You can be famous for killing a prostitute, but I mean...
Would that make them a celebrity though, Matt? That'd make them infamous. I don't think, Jack the Ripper's a celebrity.
Same thing nowadays. Remember when we watched that one of those dumb dating shows one time, and the guy was famous for punching a girl, and we saw him on Hollywood Boulevard.
No, we went to a nightclub and they're all treating him like he was a celebrity, and we're like...
Everyone wanted a selfie with him, and
they're like, get him by the line, get him in the club first of all. And at the time we just moved here, we could barely get into the club.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait a minute, this guy's famous for punching a girl on a reality show and he's getting A-list treatment.
He's famous for being an asshole.
He's getting treated better than us who've never done anything wrong.
And it's and we learned something there.
Oh, like what was her name? New York. Remember she was on that?
Yeah.
Slap me, what? You motherfucking whore, you motherfucking your motherfucking hands on me. Did you see that fucking spit in my motherfucking face? Bitch, I would take you out.
Famous for like trying to date Flavor Flav.
Yeah, but he was famous for something really crappy, and he was treated just as well as any celebrity would be in Hollywood. And we were like, oh, okay.
I wouldn't say that. He wasn't quite treated like A-list, but certainly on a nightclub level, he was whisked in, taken to a table, and asked, "Can I have my photo taken with you?" Who'd want a photo with this asshole?
It wasn't just a nightclub though. If you remember, it was how the people engaged with him. How people were like, "Let's have a picture."
Because they just recognised him, and the fact that they recognised him, that's all it used to take. And now we're in the generation of like, of course, we're on to Blake Lively, which I think could be Amber Heard Part 2 by the looks of it.
Absolutely, Amber Heard Part 2, which is a shame because if there was any celebrity that was kind of managing to traverse the bullshit nowadays of Hollywood and poke the sort of justifiable amount of fun at it, was Ryan Reynolds. And I didn't mind Deadpool.
Yeah, but for us, we don't really care about celebrities. But with him, we were like, okay, he's funny.
Yeah.
We watched a couple of his movies. I really like Just Friends. And I even like that Waiting movie.
Yeah.
Deadpool was solid.
I'm sure, and I just thought, he comes across all right. And I'm not a fan. I wouldn't ask for a selfie if I saw him. But, I thought, okay, he seems to sort of get regular people, and now he appears to be
dating Amber Heard.
Yeah,
Part
but
2.
how much of that is he responsible for?
A lot of it.
Okay, so you talked to me about Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, and I said, who gives a toss? I'm not doing a podcast about these two people.
But
then the Grammys hit, and I thought, well, this is bigger than them. This is all celebrity culture now is kind of toxic and dumb and kind of borderline offensive,
Well, if you look at the Grammys, we got to see Kanye West's girlfriend's vagina, which...
Was she straight up naked?
No, she had a dress on, but it was see-through.
Was she straight up naked underneath?
I think so. I haven't
forgot.
what does that achieve?
What do you suspect? I suspect you suspect the same thing as me, that Kanye gets some kind of weird cuckoldish kind of kick.
So you all know the hotel room, right? The hotel. We've kind of got into this thing at the moment with, the hotel room. Every hotel room you go in, it has the chair next to the bed, and we're not sure what...
Every hotel room has a bed, and then it'll normally have one or two bedside tables with a couple of lamps on it, and then it might have a desk for you to do your work. And everything makes sense, a coffee machine, maybe a little area with an ice bucket, and then it has a chair. Out of nowhere, just one chair in the corner. And we've decided that's the cook chair.
The cuckold chair. That's the chair that you sit in while somebody has sex with your wife and you get some kind of sexual gratification out of watching. And I believe what my brother's insinuating here is that Kanye West gets some kind of sexual gratification from people looking at his girlfriend naked.
Or maybe humiliating her. I don't know. I mean, look, she's not blameless either, by the way. I saw a picture of her with like a high school sweetheart. He was not a bad looking guy. And she was pretty hot. And you got... what the hell must he be thinking now? Is he still? Is he like?
But have you ever heard her say a word? One word?
That's a really good point.
don't even know if she's
but would
American
would,
or
would
what?
that even get into my algorithm? Would I be the kind of person who?
Well, you can't find it out of your algorithm. Why the fuck am I seeing Will Smith's kid with a castle on his head? As you discuss, all it is nowadays, Hollywood, is a bunch of nepotism, a bunch of famous, talented people's children being rammed down our throats. And that's not just in front of the camera. As I've discussed with you, this is why Hollywood movies suck now, because you're getting force-fed some actor's child as the star of a movie. But not just that, the writer of the terrible movie will be some rich kid too. He'll be some famous person's child or some powerful person's child, and he's written a movie, and that's why all the movies
with
nowadays...
absolutely no soul or life experience to... Did we mention it? I mean, I know I'm going off topic, but did we mention it in the last podcast where I realised this was happening with that Christmas movie? And I don't think we actually...
I can't remember.
I don't think we did discuss it.
Where
in the
we
last
discussed
podcast.
the underdog in the movie was the guy who owned a small kind of Vale hotel resort.
Yeah.
You know, he only owned a hotel with 100 rooms.
There was a movie, a Christmas movie last year. There was one this year with Lindsay Lohan as well, but I'm talking about the one last year. And in it, the underdog is the guy who owns a small ski resort in, you know, he owns a small hotel resort in a ski resort.
That's comparable to what a Vale or...
A Vale or an Aspen. They don't mention it, but does it matter? He owns a hotel.
He's like, the damn corporations are coming to town, opening up their 1,000-person hotels, and I'm stuck here with my father's hotel that I inherited.
And it only has 52 rooms, and I'm like, what? Okay, we know some incredibly rich people. We know some incredibly poor people. I would have to rack my brains to think of a friend that is as successful as a person who would own like a 52-bedroom hotel in Aspen.
And he was the underdog.
And that was the underdog, yeah. And that's because it's been written by somebody who thinks being, you know, misgendered is worth writing a movie about.
Yeah,
you know, rather than
somebody
a
who
minor
freaks out
inconvenience.
because they use fucking whole milk instead of soy milk. It's like they're completely out of touch, basically. They're completely out of touch with people's problems today. People are struggling to keep the heating on, keep the lights on, pay their mortgages or their rent, put food on their table for the kids. And these people write a movie about somebody who's about to, you know, possibly have to sell his 50... I mean, even if he was forced to sell...
That's what I was like, sell a fucker.
Yeah, sell it. That's got to be 20 million.
Oh, no,
More, right?
Way more. But even if it was 20 million.
Yeah, sell for 20 million to the hotel corporation and shut the fuck up. Yeah. So, celebrity...
It wasn't a bad movie. I didn't hate the movie.
No,
but
of course,
like, I just thought, God damn, this is where... But my hair wasn't standing on end. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't Planes, Trains and Automobiles. It wasn't a classic, you know. I'm like, and no wonder, because the premise is completely faulty. It's, you know, clearly written by somebody who hasn't got any problems and can't even conceive of what a problem might even be.
Yeah, now the talking points of the Grammys were either, like I say, Kanye West's girlfriend being completely naked, or for some reason Jaden and Will Smith. And as you said, okay, he's got a castle on his head.
Yeah, it worked. You got me. Well done. You wanted my attention. You clearly wanted attention. You've got it.
I clicked on it. What do you have for me?
Oh, that's right. Nothing.
Nothing.
You're talentless.
You talentless little shit. Get off my timeline. How are you on my... Wearing a castle on your head, it's not even... It doesn't even mean anything.
It's meaningless.
Fucking meaningless.
It's meaningless, right? Except for this... I could accept that it's a troll. We all understand he wants attention. Okay. Guilty as charged. You got my attention. I'm looking. I clicked. You got me. You baited me. Now do the switch. What are you selling me? Is it a song? Oh, that's right. You're crap at singing. Are you acting? Oh, that's right. You're crap at acting.
You ruined the Karate Kid franchise. You ruined the Karate Kid franchise, you little shit. I'll never stop hating you for that, because your dad forced you in that movie with the legendary Jackie Chan, and you still managed to fuck it up.
Is that right? Was Jackie Chan in that?
Jackie Chan was the Mr. Miyagi.
Ah, Christ. And he still managed to
screw it up. He had it all, and it's like he was that unlikable in the movie that... and talentless. You know, he's that wooden, it looked like you're throwing a chair on set every time he had to share the screen with Jackie Chan. He just ruined the franchise.
And then every time these people like deem to give you some kind of a lecture about morality or the way you should be living your life, it's like, dude, what the
or who you should vote for. We've said it time and time again. You vote for who you want to vote for. Our opinion on who you should vote for should not matter to you at all. And as I think was proven, it didn't matter. All those celebrities got around Kamala this time, and it didn't make a difference. Taylor Swift, Jennifer Lopez, was it Beyonce? As well, everybody. Nobody gave a shit. And that's what we're saying. They don't have any power anymore. They're powerless. They're impotent. We get to the stage where it's now Blake Lively, who, as I've said, think will probably turn into the Amber Heard part two. I was thinking, how much do you think Meghan Markle's like?
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, she was like, because all day on my timeline, I was like, fuck Meghan Markle. She's the worst celebrity in the world, and Blake Lively's like, hold my beer.
Yeah, oh my God, that's a good point, yeah.
I'd actually be interested to know, though, of people watching, I actually want to take a poll of whose side people are on. Are they on Blake Lively's side, or are they on Justin Baldoni's side?
You know what? So first of all, this in a divided world where we're constantly, purposefully, by the way, being divided into smaller groups. You know, it used to be there was a gay scene which encompassed everybody, and now that got too powerful, so now they have to break that up into LGBTQ. They just had another initial or number or symbol. Every time any unity forms, they're like, shit, they're getting powerful.
Divide us into other meaningless things. Sex,
Total
sexuality,
meaningless,
colour.
complete and utter prejudice, breaking people into groups. If you think about people on those terms, I don't know what to tell you, you're miles off. That's not unity. Add in another symbol. That's just more and more division.
There's one race, the human race, it doesn't matter what.
There's two
colour.
types of people, nice people and pricks. That's all you need to know. Throughout all of this, throughout all the division that they do to people, and it works, because people largely are body temperature, lukewarm morons, and it works. And every time I see them arguing over minutiae, I'm like, oh, for goodness sake, guys, they're picking your pockets.
You're falling for the divide and conquer rule.
While you're arguing over which bathroom Caitlyn Jenner takes a piss in, they're picking your pockets. But one thing that has united us all is Blake Lively.
Yeah, Republicans and Democrats all hate Blake Lively, it seems, but I may be
Gay
wrong.
and straight hate Blake Lively.
Because-
Men and women hate Blake Lively. All the races seem to hate Blake Lively right now. So she's united us. We should be grateful.
She's doing God's work, but yeah, maybe some people are on her side. I mean, you did see Amber Heard's lawyer was on her side. Did you see that?
Oh my God.
Did you see her?
Yeah, I mean, oh my God. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, that.
But you know what it is with? Would you know the main thing with Blake Lively after watching her?
No.
Not her husband, who I largely blame for this entire thing, to be honest with you. Though, actually, we'll discuss it in a minute. His trolling of Justin Baldoni that he did an excellent job of. Nice Pool was an excellent troll.
Yeah.
If any of you have seen Deadpool 3, there's a character called Nice Pool. He has the man bun, which is what Justin Baldoni used to have. Justin Baldoni has a podcast, a feminist podcast, so he has monetized the kind of women's movement. And,
Which is one of the outtakes from Nice Pool.
yes, and Nice Pool is a troll of him, and it is wonderfully done. And I kind of also blame Justin Baldoni because creeping, simping, begging voicemail that he left. Ugh.
So here's the thing. First of all, you said you wanted people to vote. And what we found out when we ran polls before, no matter how stupid the question, no matter how ridiculous, sometimes we ask the most ridiculous question that is an obvious yes, and there's always like an astounding amount of no's, like over 10%.
If anybody knows like who Jimmy Savile was a British...
say Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. We say, was Jeffrey Epstein a great guy? And you'll still get 6% of people who say yes or no, and you'll still get 6% of people who say yes. Now,
accounting, I'd say it's over 10%. Accounting for some of the fact that some of them are clearly trolling.
some of them are trolling. Some of them have accidentally clicked the wrong button.
Some of them are
just
mentally ill.
Yeah, some of them are mentally ill, and some of them are just straight up stupid and didn't understand the question.
I just saw just straight up stupid, and they didn't understand the question.
So yeah, that's where we're at. But after watching it, I've come to the decision that Blake Lively is stupid. You know,
Well,
she's
yeah,
not
obviously. She's
smart.
not another Nepo baby. I don't know whose kid she is, but I'm 100% sure she's...
Her mum was a talent agent,
Right,
which
there
is
you
at
go
our point.
then.
Her mum was a talent agent, a talent scout, I think, and her dad was an actor. He'd done things
Yeah,
like
there you go then. So it's another Nepo baby who's been forced in
what
there.
had he done? He
Now, I
done
am going to
Dukes
say
of
one thing
Hazzard.
in her defence, that people aren't going to like me defending her, but I'm just being honest. A big part of the argument came in between her and Justin Baldoni in that they were doing this movie, Ends With Us. It was a really serious movie, and she thought it was a little too intense and a little too hard to palate, and she wanted to
Which
break
is
it up.
actually a review I got before all this shit happened.
Right.
A friend went and watched it and said, "Yeah, it was just too going hard and stressful the whole time."
Right. And so she wanted to add moments of comic
The
relief.
punctuations of humour.
Now, you know me and you can't really take drama.
Well,
Can't
I'd say it's even worse than that. We only watch comedy.
Yeah. Well, like, for example, Deadpool. I'm not interested in the fucking Avengers or
Mm.
Spider-Man or Superman. That's nerd shit. I don't care about that. I mean, if you like it, cool, but I don't give a fuck about that. I liked Deadpool because of the comedy.
Yes.
Really. I
All the
watched it
action
like a
was not
comedy.
for
I don't
me,
give a
and-
shit about action.
No.
And even the action that was in there
Was comedy, yeah.
Comedy. You know, so that's why I liked it. So I have to say that I can understand, because we've been in recording studios before and we have fun when we're making music.
Well, even the most serious of movies, or even serious movies, have punctuations of humour in them.
That's right. They get comedy writers.
They get
sometimes.
comedy writers and they say, punch it up a bit, put some comedy in there. So I think she tried to punch it up.
And I don't think the movie did well.
Oh, I think it did okay.
And I
no?
don't think it did great.
Oh, right,
And
okay.
the reviews weren't great.
I'd imagine there's people watching it now just to go.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's
Let's
kind of working for it, but I don't think it did great. And I think one of the reasons was because it was just a bit intense. Like, life is intense enough. That's the way I feel about it.
What do you make of her? I mean, I showed them you last night, and what do you make of her outfits? I've looked at some pictures today, and
Yeah, she's a fashion maker.
well, so she took over the wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
It was her friend who was the stylist. And she took over the wardrobe and said, "I'm gonna." And as I explained to you yesterday, she hadn't read the script, so she didn't understand the
You
character.
said she hadn't read the book. She'd read the script.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you're right. Sorry. She hadn't read the book, so she didn't know what the
So
character.
the movie was originally a book. for
Yeah, the
those that
movie
don't
was
know.
originally a book, and I think the character's called Lily. And she hadn't read the book, so she had no understanding of who the character was. So she dressed the character in what she thinks she's some kind of Carrie Bradshaw fashion maven. And, you know, she's wearing like patchwork jeans that are 3 inches too short with big red boots. I mean, I'll put some pictures. It's absolutely, I mean, I'm talking if you went on a kind of a, I know none of us have a dating app, but if you got a date on a dating app and you saw the girl and she turned up in those outfits, you would see her and it would be so distracting, the outfit, that
Unfuckable.
you wouldn't be able to see if she had a great personality or it's just completely distracting.
Yeah, you'd be like she's mentally ill.
I mean, I don't personally find her. She never made a mark on me. She was one of those people who didn't stick. I'm sure I've seen her in things and I've come across her face, but until this happened,
Yeah, because
I
she's
wouldn't-
not,
I couldn't pick her
she's
out of the
not-
lineup.
I mean, she's been forced upon you, you know. If
she's
the
not
wo-
that attractive.
But that's almost irrelevant because, you know, what Hollywood often tells you is attractive. Hollywood, a lot of the people, especially the women, not the men too, a lot of the biggest stars in Hollywood are not always the most attractive.
No.
Like Daniel Craig, what's that guy who's the bear or whatever he's called nowadays?
Yeah, I
You
can't
know, he
remember his
plays
name.
the chef. What's that little guy from June? Looks like he stinks of piss.
What?
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy,
Yeah, you got to stop telling me these people are good looking. They're not particularly, but they might be good actors.
Yeah.
So that's fair enough. I like the fact that you don't have to be quite like everybody goes on about Scarlett Johansson because that's who Ryan Reynolds dated before. I didn't
He
think
was
she-
married to her.
Sorry, he was.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's that cute. Me personally,
No. No, I mean,
Well-
I'd rather, I think Meghan Markle's more attractive
absolutely.
than these girls.
But that's just an opinion. But it's nice to think that you don't have to be the best looking person, but you can get by with a great voice. Or because someone else who's obviously embroiled in it, Taylor Swift, who we're being told is the biggest star in the world. I just don't get the whole thing from A to Z with Taylor Swift.
Well, me and you have always said that.
But if she can sing, which I think she's mediocre at too, but if she can sing, then she doesn't have to
Well,
be
she
the
can't
hottest.
dance. She can't
Yeah,
dress.
clearly not. But she doesn't have to be the hottest. So they don't always have to be the hottest if they can act. The problem is that Blake Lively is clearly a nepotistic hookup because she's mid right across the board.
But me and you know about Taylor
She's
Swift's
cute
career. We
enough.
know
and
she's nepotistic.
She's cute enough, and she was a great actress to make it.
Yeah.
You know, but she's not a great actress either. So.
Her sister's a better actress, and her sister's going back to Karate Kid and the franchise that Will Smith kid owned. She was Karate Kid 3, wasn't she?
Oh, is that who she was?
Yeah, Blake
She
Lively's sister was Karate Kid 3, where Daniel LaRusso, what's his name, that actor?
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio, that character was taken away and replaced with a girl in Karate Kid 3.
Right, yeah, I remember her.
And that was
something
something Lively.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but
well,
it
I
was
wouldn't
Blake
know.
Lively's sister. Anyway, so see how it all works together?
Yes, yeah,
See how it's just all this pot of fucking
incestuous clusterfuck.
incestuous clusterfuck. If you can't get out of it, it's like, you know, 2 phone calls.
But what they even got to offer to you nowadays, like, because I remember when we came here and we were pretty raw in Hollywood, and we'd go to a party and we'd say something or we'd tell a joke and we'd take a 10-hour lecture after about, you shouldn't have said this, you shouldn't have done
This
that.
is not how you act in Hollywood. Fuck off.
Right, but there was a real, like, shit, maybe we will get ourselves blacklisted.
For a while.
Right, if we don't behave ourselves or we behave the way we are. And we were never accepted, probably because of the way we are. We're just like this. And
Yeah, because if we're in a room and Blake Lively's being a horrible person to a journalist, if we were the journalist, the interviewer, or if we were in the room, we'd say, that's not right.
Well,
we wouldn't say it in a rude way, but we'd say, hey.
we'd probably had a joke, we'd say, and that's how you've been raised to act, is it? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's how your parents raised you to speak to people in that manner.
That's how we're speaking to journalists tonight. Is it? Okay, cool.
Sorry, Blake is messing with the boundaries of normal social conduct to you guys. And we would be laughing because it would be in a joke, and everybody else is like, oh, Jesus, I can't believe you said that to Blake. She's going to...
So we have done that kind of
And,
thing.
and then me and you got to a stage where we were like, well, fucking just tell us straight then. Hey,
But now I'm at the stage where I'm like, why do I'm... First of all, I never was able to play by those fucking stupid rules anyhow. There's just certain types of people who just... The truth is more important than getting in there or whatever.
yeah, for us, we got to a stage where we were like, just say the truth, just say what is real and let the chips fall where they may.
But now,
Cancel us.
But now it's at the stage where it's like, what the fuck do you have to offer me anyhow? Your movies suck. Your songs suck. Your TV shows suck.
Nobody likes you anymore. I think you said it the other day. You said, we've never been enamored by celebrities. You know, we understand that they were useful for a while, but we've never been really enamored by anybody. We've never really been a fan of anybody. That's DJs included, by the way. They're a bunch of boring bastards. Most of them are about as interesting as a geography teacher.
I have been impressed by some people on an individual level.
Yes, of course, on an individual, but it's when they start grouping together. And we've also been impressed by people's music, even if we don't like the individual.
Yeah.
We care about the music. We've met some individuals that we don't really like them, but we like the
Yeah,
music.
we don't care about the artist, but we like the art.
Yeah, we always
Mick
care-
Hucknall.
Yeah, but yeah, it's another story. But you said that we never really cared or were enamoured by celebrities, and other people are starting to, you know,
Come around to our way of thinking.
exactly.
Which is worrying, really.
Which is worrying because you don't want people like us. You don't want a world full of people who are just
miserable bastards.
ambivalent at best.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, here's Justin Bieber. All right, mate. Anyway, what was I saying?
Nice to meet you, mate. You all right?
Oh my God, such and such a person's in your club. Oh, okay, let's talk about the nicest celebrities we've met.
Well, let me talk about an interesting one that we had within recent years that ties us into Taylor Swift. Because you remember, we went out to a club in Santa Monica. And we were taken into the back room.
Yes, these two, yes.
So hanging out with all these guys. And they were all super nice. I like the guy who owns the club. So I'm having a great night with these guys. And one of them had a bit of something about him. Do you know what I mean? He's a good laugh, and he's just a good laugh. So I'm talking to him, and he's talking to me, and
you thought you were the star,
I
yeah?
thought I was the star.
Okay,
you know,
was
like,
that we were
what?
DJing, we're like, yeah.
You're lucky if I'm even Zealand. But I'm like, yeah, I'm the EC
We
twins.
assume he'd be like, oh, the EC twins,
We all
nice.
get whisked into the VIP room with me, and I'm like, yeah, don't worry, guys, I'll hook it up. And I'm talking to him, and he's really nice. And I'm like, what do you do? And he said, I play football. And at the end of the night, I'm like, man, I had a great time with you. Like, honestly, you got good charisma. You're going places. And And the club owner's like, yeah, his name's Travis Kelce. He's won the Super Bowl a whole bunch of times.
How many times has he won the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
I remember them telling us this was literally the week before he announced a relationship with Taylor Swift. Otherwise, we'd have never. It was when it came out with Taylor Swift.
Retroactively placed it.
Exactly. If it had been like months ago, we'd have just forgotten about it. But it was like, wait a minute, is that the guy we were with on Friday night?
Right, because it's not
It's
like
with
he
Taylor-
said his name's Travis Kelce, and I went, oh, I've heard that name.
No,
That's
we know nothing about football.
Nothing.
I could name two footballers. One's Travis Kelce, one's something Mahone, Patrick Mahone.
And Giselle Bundchen's husband, what's he called? Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's it. That's me.
The refrigerator.
I'm all out of football, people.
Yeah.
Now.
I'm all out of giving a shit.
So when they
about
told us who he was, we didn't know. But of course, that week after he got announced, and we're like, oh my God, that's that fucking guy.
that. And on an individual level, just
But did
being
you
hon-
not say, because you
just
spoke...
being honest, he was a nice guy.
Yeah. You spoke to him. Did you not say that he had a lot of black girls around him?
Yeah, he was like.
So
had
he's
these
obviously into
super
hot black
girls.
girls. Yeah.
You know, like remarkably hot. I'm like, oh, she's really pretty. And he's a football star. Okay, I get why he's getting. And to be fair, he was a good-looking dude too himself. You know,
But then he pops up with the whitest vanilla girl in the world, you know.
just the opposite. Of
the
what he's
opposite of
into.
everything, flat-assed,
It's a psyop relationship. That one. Isn't
olive
it?
oil, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, who would you say is the nicest celebrity you've met? Because, like I say, we don't really care about celebrities. What would you say, like, nice celebrities?
You obviously have somebody in mind.
I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio's been to a few
he
of
was
our
a good
shows. He's
guy.
always very nice. I hope he doesn't pop up on some kind of P. Diddy list covered in
He
baby
probably
oil. But
will,
he's
'cause,
always...
you know, if you remember that night, so he came to our show and came up to us at the end of the show, and he's like, "God, I couldn't take my eyes off you guys. You're just mesmerising," which, of course, you know, kind of in one ear and out the other, but it was nice to hear because I'm like...
We tried our hardest on stage, so he could have just... We didn't know whether it was... We assume it was genuine. I'd like to assume it was genuine, that I am mesmerising and he couldn't take my eyes off me. But he could
When
also
everybody was clearly looking at Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, he could also just be being charming to me, you know what I mean?
No,
So-
because he called us over and he was incredibly nice, and he said, "I want you to come to a party after," and we could not get...
No, I said, I'm not going.
We just could, and it's nothing.
I told him I'd hurt my
nothing
back.
personal to him. I thought, what the hell am I going to do back then? I'm like, oh man, you know, I was pouring with sweat. I need a shower. Maybe I'll come after.
I told him
go
I'd
home.
hurt my back. I got to go home. I think I hurt my back on stage just to get out of there because we had that sixth sense that, you know, if you go in there, you're going to end up covered in baby oil and...
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. Just what are we going to talk about? You know, Paris Hilton was always
Paris
a
Hilton's
a
always very nice.
girl.
A lot of people give Paris Hilton shit, but see, she is actually what she
Yeah, she does what she says on the tin. She's
Yeah.
sort of a fun girl, and she'd probably be quite nice to you.
and she's nice to people. Yeah, she's not like a Taylor Swift that I would guess, knowing what we know about Taylor Swift, that she's probably a mean girl person.
Well, that's what's. Well, I don't know.
Pretending to be
honestly,
nice.
I don't know an awful lot about her. I think her music is mid. She's had some good producers and writers on her stuff, but I don't. It just doesn't stick with me. I don't get it, right? And that's the same for a lot of things in life that are mainstream successful. They're just right over my head, and my life would be a lot easier if I didn't have niche tastes. I'm sure you're the same, Alistair, but. I think her entire brand, which you may not know, and I don't really know, but her entire brand is based on her being like a nice
A victim,
girl who
she
always
gets
hurt.
dumped, yeah, the girl next door, and she's just like you. She's actually nothing like you. She wouldn't piss on you if you was on fire, you know.
Well, who knows that? But I'll tell you one thing. She's going to chew her arm out of this Blake Lively bear trap so fast because it goes in the face of everything that she's branded herself to be. Because now we're being exposed to the fact that she's probably a bully. There were already.
Well, why
rumours-
would you even hang out with somebody like Blake Lively unless you agree with that weight? It's evident to anybody who watches Blake Lively that, first of all, she's not particularly nice. Second of all, she's arrogant and kind of entitled.
I don't
and third,
think- I
she's
don't think
quite
that's-
stupid.
If you watch, yeah, that's true. But if you watch the footage of her with this guy, neither one of them are doing anything wrong.
No.
So I wouldn't assume that.
He is bending over backwards.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I wouldn't assume she was bad if she hadn't done everything she did behind his back to try and... Okay, we've seen the footage. We've seen the behind the scenes, what she's accused him of being sexual harassment. We've seen it. We've heard it. He's done nothing wrong. That's pretty much evident. So what agenda has she got to try and throw this guy under the bus in the most disgusting way by ending his career, getting him dumped off his agents, getting him banned from Hollywood,
Ruining his life.
publicly making everybody think, like, kind of insinuating that he's some kind of a rapist.
It's going to cause a problem with his wife, who I think the mother of his kids, right? You know, that's going to cause a problem.
It's
He's
going to
like,
just
ruin his life.
even if
Absolutely
he's
ruin his
rich
life.
for the rest of his life, it's just.
But you know what? You know what? A part of that is his fault for being
Yes.
such a wimp. He should have stood up to and said, hey, listen, get an intimacy coordinator in here. I'm trying to be professional. Stop your shit or we're not going on with the project.
Absolutely.
However, he would have no pulse. He would be dead right now if it wasn't for the fact that his business partner is richer than Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift put together. And that guy is just had enough.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
guy's like, okay, my boy did nothing wrong, and you know what? Lawyer up. And if it wasn't for that guy, who's probably the real deal, he's some billionaire who's philanthropic and wants to give a lot of his money away, and I think he just got to the stage where he went, enough. I'll look after you anyway, Justin. I've got you financially, but enough. These people need to pay, and I'm going to spend my billions making sure they do pay, because this is just fucking wrong. And if he didn't have that, this happens all the time.
Right.
I think this is why it's so big, because this happens to so many people. So many people see themselves in the position of Justin Baldoni. We've all been pushed around by somebody who perceives themselves as better than you in some way. They've got a little bit more power than you. They've probably got a lot more money than you.
Or
You're
they're hanging some ridiculous accusation
Yeah,
over your
that's
head,
exactly.
like, if you mess with me, I'm going to accuse you of being sexist, racist, homophobic. They're making one incidental thing about their personality,
Had you
they're
ever-
weaponizing it to use it against you.
Had you ever
so
heard
that it's
of-
like, hey, okay, it's let me think, it's a Hindu, and he's got a knife held to your throat, and you knock the knife out his hand, punch him in the chin, and he goes, hey, you're anti-Hindu, that was a racist attack. And it's like, no, you had a fucking knife to my throat. But now everybody's on his side because he, you know.
Had you heard of Justin Baldoni?
No.
Before this. Okay, so had it been the old school way where the New York Times put something out, your mum, your gran, you, your friends, I'd all read this about Justin Baldoni, and the only thing they
Yeah.
would take home is he did something like sexual harassment
Yeah,
on set
yeah.
of a woman.
Yeah,
and that would have been it. But two things. First of all, we've got social media, and everybody pulled up all Blake Lively's past. They'd had enough of her. And second of all, he's got all that money behind him. He's got all that billionaire money behind him. So may the best man win.
And third,
Yeah.
now, I am mad at these types of people because they're pussies. If you show weakness and bow to all these powerful people, okay, they're bullies. They'll bully you. You have to just turn around and say, no matter who they are, their president, their queen, oh, sorry, king, whatever, whoever, the most famous person in the world, you just have to have it inside yourself to say, hey, don't fucking talk to me like that, okay? Go talk to someone else like that. You fight all right, then fuck you. It's over then. You have to have that within yourself. And these guys who go through life like, oh my God, you magical people, you're asking for it, right? You're asking
That
for-
phone call he made where he...
Oh my
I'm
God.
so sorry you went through this with other men in the industry.
How
Who
do you know
says
she did? Who says who?
She's
Anyway,
accusing you of it, you fucking idiot.
yeah, you're about to be next. You're about to be the next
She's
fucking sob
accusing you
story.
of it the same way she's accusing them of it.
And you're throwing these guys or girls under the bus evidence free
I'm
because
not like them. You're exactly the same, you fucking idiot.
well, you're about to be exactly the same.
Yeah.
You're about to be a fucking statistic. But to be fair, so I'm like, fuck this guy. What a pussy he's asked me. But to be fair, he's showing some real teeth on saying, you know what, fuck him. Go
Now
back
he
up.
is, yeah, now he is. Probably his lawyers are
And
telling him.
there's something to be respected from people who are able to stay diplomatic. I watched him walking the red carpet. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
And he has to take his
He does a
entire
very
family
good
into
job,
the
a very good
basement,
job,
and he
yes.
just does this really diplomatic job.
Oh, yeah.
And I just
Where him and his family are having the pictures taken next to a load of plastic bottles.
and yeah, and he's like, and I'm
a
here
stock
with
room,
I'm
oh.
here with my cousin who's just left her husband. So
my best friend.
they've been made to go into the cellar of the movie theater to watch
It's like
the
the
premiere.
stock room where they're keeping all
Yeah.
the... Yeah.
And watch his own movie that he made because Blake Lively said.
Well, apparently on these red carpets, well, as you know, the star of them. First of all, they get all the celebrities out of the way, and the Z-listers walk the red carpet, and then the big guns, the stars of the movie, turn up right at the end.
right.
He was one of the first people there upon Blake Lively's request.
Yeah.
And then he gets okay, she's here, let's go down and lock ourselves and our family and all our
But
guests.
he still managed to put this diplomatic answer together. And you know how me and you are.
Yes.
We respect people who have that kind of
Decorum,
dignity,
decorum.
Yeah, we
Don't have
I
that.
just know I don't have that. I'd be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool, fuck you. I'm out.
Back to the whole thing about has the shine come off celebrities? I mean, yeah, who is a celebrity nowadays? So Taylor Swift would be a big celebrity.
Well, they say that, but is that a pinnacle of like charisma to you?
No,
Is that all that? Like, I almost think that like
I don't know anything about her opinions on anything. If I'm honest with you,
I would
do?
imagine they just lockstep with the mainstream rhetoric.
A meat puppet. You could
Yeah.
replace her with anybody who.
But like, and I'm not even having a go genuinely. Like, is there anything remarkable about her? Is her voice remarkable? Are her looks remarkable? Is her dancing remarkable?
Her personality.
To me, and I never know what this person looks like. I can never get an angle on it.
Right.
But Lady Gaga
Right, yes,
is
yes.
at least doing a facsimile of a Madonna or a Marilyn Monroe.
Well, you
or a-
remember when we first came to LA and Lady Gaga was when the famous scene where she goes another club. That is true. We would go ourselves to 10 clubs a night, and Lady Gaga would go now because she had all her mum and dad's money behind
Yes,
her.
it was her parents, not because at the time we were like, oh, this girl's going to make it because her parents were record executives.
Her
or
parents were
something.
rich. I
And they
can't
were
remember.
forcing her in.
And
they'd
she
be
also
like,
walked around
hey, before
with-
you guys go on, Lady Gaga's going to do a performance,
And we're like, who the fuck is Lady Gaga? She'd walk in with like 10, army of gay backup dancers and do this whole show. And then we'd go to the next club and there she's doing the show.
But
and
that was a show, though. Do you know what I'm
oh,
saying?
and she
Like,
did the work. She did the work and the dancers were good.
So you're talking about someone who's physically probably not that. I wouldn't recognise her if she walked in here now.
I get it, yeah.
I don't know what
She
that,
has a lot of different looks.
I don't know what that individual looks like as a human being. But I do
Even though we've physically laid eyes on her.
many times, and every time I'm like, is that her again? But at least she goes for it, There's an element of like, if you're going to get on stage, dress like you deserve to be on stage. If
Yeah.
you want me to look at you, dress like you deserve me to look at you. So to me, that's more star power than Taylor
Yeah,
Swift.
like-
It doesn't have any of that.
Like
Taylor Swift's the
sometimes
girl
you
next
meet
door.
celebrities and they have something about them. They have something about them. Whether you've been a fan of any of their work, you might meet somebody that you weren't a particular fan of their work, and you meet them and they go, "I'm trying to think who had that effect on me."
Rick James.
You never met Rick James.
No, I never met Rick James.
Yeah,
I just
fucking
saw him out
golden glow around him.
An aura. It was like purple.
Yeah, and then some people you meet and you're like, "Wow, they had nothing about them."
And maybe Taylor Swift would in real life, but I don't get it, right? But from jump, it is so banal. And then you get somebody who is also, I think she's the most famous one on her Instagram, is Selena Gomez, who rubbed everybody wrong. And
She just
seems-
lost like 1 million followers.
And she seems like, honestly, she seems like quite a nice girl,
Yeah.
honestly, if
Yeah,
I'm
she does.
honest. I'm not... Okay, there was some of your doctors in the hospital who I think had treated her, and she'd been through something with either a kidney or a liver.
she'd
One
had
of
a
her friends had
transplant,
given her. So she'd been through something, but they did say she was a nice person.
Yeah, look, me and you have been wrong about judgment of character.
Yeah.
We all judge characters, and most of the time,
Taylor Swift could be a nice girl.
yeah, your intuition works, but we have been wrong. A few really, kind of somebody who we've assumed would be absolutely
A few,
awful.
and we can't say it, but people who become good friends of
Yes,
ours
yes.
that were
famous
famous.
people that have become
And then
friends.
when we saw him, we're like, oh my God, this dick.
Yeah,
it turns
God,
out
this
to
guy.
just be the nicest guy in the world. And
So
I'm
we've
like,
we've been
okay,
wrong.
I
Our
won't
judgment
do
of
that
cha-
one again.
Yeah, our judgment of character isn't always right, but yes, Selena Gomez does appear that she may be semi-normal, which is all
I don't know about normal, but semi like well-intentioned.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's the word. Well-intentioned.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that crying video did not help.
No, that.
And that sums it up, because I think years ago they did gone for that. It was like that Imagine. I mean, what was the decrescendo? They all talk about that Imagine video.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try.
No hell below us.
Above us only sky. Imagine all the people
Living for today. Yeah.
What was the one before that? I accept accountability. Do you remember that one? Or I accept responsibility. Or what was that one?
Was it something they were accepting responsibility for racism or something?
Yeah,
It's like,
I'm
why? Are
watching
you
it like-
responsible? Are you racist?
Yeah.
I don't accept responsibility. I'm not racist. My fucking parents weren't racist. Why would I expect... I have to go several generations back to somebody who kind of looked
I don't
like
even
me.
know if you could find that. It doesn't make any sense
Fuck
to
those
anybody. I
guys.
don't even. But
Am I supposed to accept responsibility for them?
was there a self?
You stole my bike.
Was there a cell phone in there?
I'll cut that out.
Bit of a niche reference. But yeah, Selena Gomez was a big one where I realised, like, yeah, they really don't want to be lectured by you guys anymore. You ask what a celebrity is now.
Kardashians?
I mean, even that's old now.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, there's two guys that I think are probably knobs, but could turn out to be nice guys. Jake Paul and his brother, but they're kind of famous for being kind of wanks. You know what I mean? If I met them, they could be nice guys.
Sure.
My opinion on them right now is a pair of wankers, especially the younger one, who just appears to be a bully. Just wants to beat up people who are smaller than him, or
Old-age pensioners.
Old-age pensioners, and then walk around like he's an hard man. Never fought anybody his own size and
I even resent,
age.
I even,
and when he
I
did,
even resent talking about him. I resent talking about him.
and when he did, he lost.
I resent talking about him. I resent talking about Will Smith's kid, who I refer
But
to
that's what
as
we are
Will
talking
Smith's
about
kid.
today.
I refuse to call him by his name because all he is Will Smith's kid. He doesn't have a personality nor a name of his own. He is Will Smith's kid, and same with the daughter. That's also Will Smith's kid. That's Will Smith's daughter and Will Smith's son, and that's all they are. I don't even give a shit about their mum because she's just
but
Will Smith's wife.
I thought the mum was kind of cute in a day.
She
at the
was,
time.
but what has she really done? Seriously, what has she done?
Low down, dirty shame.
Was she in that? Was she in Shed the Long Hair?
Peaches or something like
Was
that.
she Peaches?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it was hardly a Oscar-worthy performance, was it? Do you know
No,
what I mean?
God, no.
Sure,
If you
whether
watch
she's
it back,
cute or not,
it didn't age well.
doesn't matter. I think she did like set it off or something, but really, what did she do?
He didn't do poetic justice. I never saw poetic justice.
No, that was Janet Jackson.
I know,
did
but
do
she makes
Poetic
was she
Justice.
in there?
I don't know.
Was Janet,
That's what I'm saying. We're searching, not Will Smith, who, Jesus Christ, the first episode
Yeah.
of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, we came on from school, it changed my life.
yeah.
Changed my life. It was brilliant because it was about class,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we love. It's, he's the kind of guy who is,
The fish out of water.
yeah,
he's
the
poor
lower class guy.
And every episode from then on, I remember the one where he gets on Carlton's basketball team.
Brilliant.
I could not believe how good that show was.
Yeah.
I was sat there like, I love everything about this. I love his
He
clothes,
looked good,
I love
yeah.
the music. I love the acting. I love the comedy.
dancing.
I love jazz. I love Carlton. I could not believe. I love Hillary. I could not believe how good that show was, and how good he was.
And now
in it.
he's even turned into an absolute ball bag.
a shell of himself.
I don't even recognise any talent in there anymore. Do you know what I mean? I don't
Are they lobotomizing these people when they get to a certain level?
know. Are they compromised? Sorry.
There's a dog crying in the
yours.
background,
My
trying to
dog's-
get to us.
My dog's crying in the background. He wants to come on the podcast, but
I think you'd quite like him, to be fair.
quite charming.
Very good-looking guy, but perhaps not a great conversationalist. But yeah, you're right. I mean, even my, how the mighty falls. It does seem that if they stick around for long enough, they just become bad guys.
Like Ellen DeGeneres.
Tom Hanks.
I don't even want to talk about that guy. I could go on. That could be I could talk about him for 2 hours solid. That guy is seriously questionable.
Yeah.
I think he makes Jimmy Savile look like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. How did Ricky Gervais manage to survive with any kind of rationale? Because he really took him
Yeah,
down.
let's
you know
take
what
Ricky Gervais, for example. My ex-girlfriend was his stylist, and he again walked the walk because she had to dress him for those award ceremonies, and he would always insist upon wearing his own shoes, which looked like they were about $50.
Why?
He just couldn't be bothered. And she'd say, we'll send a driver for you, so I'll get my own way there. And he'd just come walking down the street, and he'd walk in and he'd put the suit on and they'd tailor the legs and the arms. He didn't care. He didn't care. He just don't worry about it.
I think that's because, and probably one of the reasons that we've been in Hollywood and not been affected is because we're twins, so we're able to sort of have a bizarre conversation and leave and go,
That wasn't right, yeah. If everybody around you is telling you to be, for example, you know, we've been told this is how you have to behave. You don't interact with the fans. You don't respond on social media. You only respond to the people who are powerful on social media. You only respond to the blue ticks on social media. When you do a show, you have security.
push everybody away.
Yeah.
They try and have a photo taken with you. They
you.
have to feel beneath you,
Yeah.
or you won't make it.
Don't be accessible to the fans. And we said, not interested.
Not interested.
And they said, then you won't be Calvin Harris, who is incredibly boring, by the way. I mean, I'm sure he's nice enough.
yeah, and relatively talented in comparison to the pool of very nice.
But about, is it about the...
very nice, probably born very rich, very connected DJs who are really good at marketing and the opposite of talented.
And the personality, he's probably got the personality of Taylor Swift. Just he's a nice guy. I've spent a lot of time with him and gone,
I wouldn't say a lot of time
okay, but we spent time with him.
around him and gone, wow, this has been brilliant.
Nothing, yeah.
But that's what the industry needs. That's what the industry needs is
Fucking geography teacher.
just a kind of empty vessel to just, it's not, they don't need somebody with a whole bunch of opinions like me and you. It's impossible for
Well, if
them
you
to
take
control.
a Ricky Gervais and you look at him, for example, his acting, I was watching one of his movies, I think last night or the night before.
Well, my point just quickly was,
Okay.
another reason why it hasn't got us is because, and Ricky Gervais, by the time you've achieved anything in life, you're already fully grown and fully
Right,
formed.
right.
So if it hits you out of nowhere overnight, and you've never had a real job,
Blake Lively.
we've seen it a million times. We've seen a bunch of guys who are kind of nerds, but they have an interesting look. They're not good looking, and somebody picks them up and says,
Yeah.
you're going to be a model.
You're going to be the next Gucci guy.
On Monday, he's a nerd, and he hates everybody, and he's just... Tuesday, you think...
Never got laid, virgin, never had any chick's attention. On Monday, he gets cast in the Gucci campaign, and by the following week, he believes that he's the guy on the billboard.
Yeah, by Tuesday, he's like, oh, wait, I've been gorgeous all this time. I'm going to treat everybody how they've treated me my whole life. And he's just a prick because it all happened too fast.
Well, like we say about...
Well, it'd be impossible to tell you how good you were now because you'd be like, wait a minute,
yeah.
I worked in Burger King.
Yeah, when Leonardo DiCaprio came up and told me, oh, you guys are so amazing on stage. Well, I know we try really hard on stage and we really mean it. We you know...
But I can't be that amazing because I was living in my truck last month.
Well, I just didn't get told this same information when I was working construction for $50 a day, and it can't help but because I was pretty good at digging as well. But I didn't put my shovel down, and somebody came over and went, I've been watching you dig all day, and you was amazing. You know, I just couldn't take my eyes off you. So yes, I do believe we are particularly talented DJs because we try really hard. But I also tried at digging. And nobody came and congratulated me once I put the shovel down. But I think with actors, as the better actors, because if you take Russell Brand, Ricky Gervais, I'm trying to think of another reference. Well, let's just take those two people. They always are the same character in every movie they do.
Yeah, they play
because
themselves.
Their
I think
personality.
Blake Lively plays herself too. I think Ryan Reynolds plays himself. He's not...
Well, I don't think so because Martha Stewart told you what is his next door neighbour and told you what he was. He's not actually funny.
Okay, but what I mean is, he plays that version of himself that he puts out into the public. He's not winning an Academy Award.
I
He
think
might, but
Okay, the reason why girls...
he's always the same character. He's the same character in Waiting as he is in Just Friends, as he is in Deadpool.
So I think he's a good actor, and I think the reason that girls often say, I want a guy with a good sense of humour, as I've told you, is there's no way to illustrate to a girl on a date that you have that you have intellect, that you're intelligent. You can't say, hey, let's talk about Pythagoras' theorem here.
You could.
You could, but you know, you have to. Not that I know what that is particularly. Well, I do, but you know,
I'm not an expert.
I couldn't sum it up in a sentence. But the way you illustrate to a girl that you're intelligent is by wit. Okay, so I think he's smart. I think he is got a sense of humour, and I think he's intelligent, and I think he's a good actor. What I'm saying is most actors, as you know, and I don't want to mention names, but don't have a personality when you meet them. They're just constantly casting. So like a Justin Baldoni, for example.
Yeah.
He is playing a character the whole time.
Yeah.
He's playing the feminist, bleeding heart liberal.
He may actually be that, though. he may actually think that's the right way to be.
He just may be so in the character that he believes. Yes, you're right. He could actually. We're going to find out, and I suspect that he's probably squeaky clean. We're going to find out. But he's also, nobody is that. Do you understand, Mark? Nobody gets told, fuck you, this movie's mine, I turn up when I want, I rewrite the script, and then you say, oh my God.
No, that's not true. Some people, that's not the right way to be, but some people are like that.
What I'm
Bullies.
saying is, when I'm saying he's not genuine, is this. Nobody has the project stolen off them.
Right.
She dictated what the music was. She dictated what the clothing was. She rewrote the script, all of which he wasn't enamored with.
Right.
And then she got pissed off that he wasn't enamored with it. That was her problem.
Right.
He was like lukewarm to it.
Right.
And then he goes, thank you so much for your input. That's not honest. Honest would be, I don't like...
It's not honest, but it may be who he is.
But if somebody rewrote one of our songs...
Yeah, I've met people like that.
Yeah.
It may be who he is. It's not honest.
Yeah.
It's not smart, but he might just be a little bit sackless in that regard. He might just
probably
say, I
is,
can
yes, he
apologise
probably
and
is.
beg my way out of this. You know, I told you when I was on that, remember that app that was popular for about 15 seconds during COVID? Was it called Clubhouse?
Oh, yeah.
And I remember there was this, the whole thing just became this incendiary sort of, I don't know.
Yeah, any word, anything you said on there could be taken out of context. You could go on there and it's you in a room with 20 girls.
Who
And
are
you say,
just
hi.
trying to back you into a sequence of corners that you have to fight your way out.
Yeah, you
from.
go in there and they go, let's hear from these C twins. And you go, well, hi, ladies, nice to meet you. Oh my God, I can't believe you called us ladies.
Did you just assume my gender? And the people that were good on it talked in this really... Okay, so what we've done here this year is improved LGBT and people of colour music.
And we're elevating the
And I'm like,
voices of
what
the...
on earth is LGBTQ music? What on earth is people of colour music? What the fuck is that? I grew up listening to Luther Vandross. He's my probably number one artist. I suspect he's both LGBTQ and I know he's a person of colour, but his music isn't LGBTQ or people of colour music. It's just fucking banging. It's just
It's
brilliant.
either good music or bad music. I don't give a
What
shit who wrote it.
some people like Queen or Elton John, I'm actually not a big fan of either one of those things, but like...
I can respect Queen more.
I can respect some of Elton John's songs, but they're
yeah,
not,
for sure, yeah.
you know, I don't, it's not right in my, it's, you know, it's not right down my fucking alley, but it's got nothing to do with the fact that the artist is gay. What the hell has that got to do with
The
the music?
sexuality of the artist matters
What
nuts to me.
what on earth is LGBTQ music? Why are you splitting people into? I hope everybody of every race and every sexuality listens to my music. I'll be offended if you don't. So they talk in this way that I just could never. I
Their
could,
cadence, a weird cadence.
yeah, I could never get it. And I remember going into this one room and they were all talking at this cadence, and it was a comedy room, and they were all female comedians.
Except one guy and you who went in there.
Yeah, and they were going on, and these women were blowing up. There wasn't any comedy, by the way. And all these
anger
women were
and
going on
vitriol.
is just about, all these men had treated them badly.
The industry's run by the patriarchy.
And they go, let's turn it over to one of the guys. And one of these guys comes on and he goes, so first of all, I just want to start by saying how much of an honor it is to be surrounded by such strong and beautiful, empowered women. And they tore him a fresh arsehole.
They called him every-
cut him off. They called him every
sexist under the sun.
Every sexist under the sun. They're like, don't you call me beautiful, motherfucker. And Aaron just laughing my ass
Rapist.
off. I was just
I was like, whoa, whoa,
oh, he couldn't have been nicer. And I thought, you know what? They sensed the creep off you.
And then
bro.
they said
You're
to
a
you- then they
fucking
said,
creep.
let's see what
and
these-
then they said, oh, EC Twins have dropped him.
EC Twins, what do you have to say?
Do you want to chip in? I said, no, I'm good. I'm good. This is a comedy. This is a comedy chat room, is it? And that's it. I was like,
I came here for a laugh.
and you're all comedians, yeah? Okay. No, I'm good, thanks.
I came here for a laugh, and I definitely know if I told a joke, you guys would not find it funny.
But my point is, there was something about his energy, which Baldoni has sometimes, that it rubbed them wrong.
Yeah, like backing down to a bully. We always said that. You back down to a bully. If somebody says, what are you looking at? You say, you fucking... You don't go, oh, put your head down. Oh.
It'd have literally been better off to go in that chat room and say, shut your fucking mouth. A lot of you, what the fuck are you going on about?
Well, like I say, you just got to be honest.
Yeah.
As honest as you can be within the realms of just intentionally knowing you're going to hurt somebody's feelings.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Don't hurt anybody's feelings, but you've always got to be honest about what's going on here. And that's where I think Baldoni was a little bit... He should have said, I don't like the rewrites. I'm sorry.
Right.
These clothes are not what the character of Lily Bloom, I believe she's called, would wear. She's no makeup, no lipstick is referenced in the book. Simple black dress. Off 4 times it's referenced that she just wears jeans and a shirt. And you're walking in here with fucking Carhartt, what you guys call coveralls, maybe dungarees, bright red boots like you're out of like Gene Simmons in Kiss. You got red hair. God almighty.
I mean, are there any other
4 beanies on.
4 belts? Is there any? I mean, so that's that covered, and I'm pretty clear where most of us stand.
Well, I think
on
it's
this
going to
one.
get worse for her before it gets better. So I think this is going to drag.
Yeah,
on.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift don't watch this podcast.
Do you know though?
But if you do, pull the fucking cord now.
Stop
all right?
now.
It's over. Pull the cord.
Pay
Get
them off.
Out.
Whatever you have to do.
Okay?
Because just to close it, I did actually speak to a girl the other day, and she was mad at Blake Lively. The reason is, she said, "What if that did actually happen to me? What if which is the
Absolutely.
whole point.
That's the whole point.
What if it was a girl on set in a studio at work at Burger King
And has been.
and it happens daily, thousands of times a day. A girl's at work and a guy with a position of power over her exploits her, comes onto her, makes unwanted advances at her, and this is what. And now, if she said, if I came home and said to my friends, "Oh, this happened to me today at work," now they're going to just assume that I'm either a money grabber or lying for attention. She's ruining it for the genuine people.
So people like Amber Heard and now Blake Lively have really screwed this up for genuine victims. You know, that's assuming that Baldoni didn't do anything, because I don't think he did it. It appears he hasn't done anything, but you do never know. There are those type of guys who are that.
You never know. I thought that there
You
could be
know those self-help gurus
Oh,
that we
yes.
follow, and we're like, there's something.
But we
up
don't
with that
follow
guy.
them, Mark. We look at them for entertainment. We have a self-help guru, 2 of them, both helping men to get more in touch with their feminine side and find out. And all it is when I see a girl, what I feel inside myself is that I'm
For me.
For me, and I feel that
I have no ego for me and myself. When Jesus, I thought you wasn't here to talk about yourself. I thought you said you had no ego. Everything you talked about is your fucking self. You're a sociopath.
And there's 2 of them, and when I spoke to one of their former roommates, he said he used to come home, because he's a former DJ, he used to come home, one of them's a former DJ, one of them's a former promoter, and he's up there talking about women's rights and how he's a strong man with no ego, and he used to come home in some kind of insecure rage and beat his girlfriend up.
And we knew that. We said, that guy's beating
That
his
guy,
girlfriend.
I looked at him, I said, this guy's so disingenuous. I was around him, and I just...
Yeah, there was one day he nearly drove us to something, because he was
We
so...
were with our female friends.
We were with our female friends messing around. He was sitting on our knees, and he said something along the lines of, hey, guys.
No, there was 4 seats, and there was 5 of us.
Right.
And I jumped in the seat and said to my friend,
Now,
"Ha ha."
remembering that we'd got them this
All the-
festival pass, the
Yes.
VIP passes, the arts pass. Our fucking friends are sleeping in my hotel room, not sexually. We're all in it together.
It was a joke, and I sat in the chair and said, ha, like it was musical chairs, and he came over in front of everybody.
Now,
and went,
knowing that she could have, even if it was the male friend, could have sat on your knee. We're all having a laugh.
yes,
And,
and everybody around knows us as the EC twins. They don't know our relationship with the girls. And he comes over and goes, stand up for the lady and give her your seat, to try and embarrass me in front of. And I just wanted to smack
and
his
you
teeth.
said, no, she can sit on my knee. She's perfectly fine.
Yes, she's
By
cool
the
with it.
way, you're the good guy here. I'm the one who's got the 5-day pass. I've been sleeping on the floor so she can have my bed. So, and we left that festival, and I remember seeing him walk across the car park, and me and you were I was having to use
I just
so
wanted
much
to-
restraint,
yeah.
because I was like,
Can you
"Dude,
talk to me like that again?
Dude,
so I
I
can just-
need him to. I would just, excuse me, I'm sorry. Did I mishear you?
Can you talk to me like that again? Because
When
I'm a
nobody's
man.
watching.
I'm a man. And I'm not going to humiliate myself in front of all those people, but right now I will happily punch.
Have I taken it wrong? Because I'm really, yeah.
And then he rebranded himself as a self-help guru who's there for
But
women.
remember, he was walking across the car park, and we're like, that guy's got problems.
Deeply,
He's
deeply unhappy.
depressed.
Deeply unhappy. He just looked deeply unhappy.
But-
we had to do about a 1.5 mile walk to the
Yeah.
airport or something
Yeah, yeah.
with the guy, and we walked in absolute silence.
Yeah, because we were still. I don't know if you've ever done that, where you've had an interaction with somebody that is so on the face of it rude that I think it's called nonplussed,
Yeah.
where you're like, wait,
I knew I couldn't say anything.
Wait, I don't even know what to say next because
It's not going to be nice.
it's not. Yeah, it's not going to make very much sense. And my only thing that's on the fucking front of my mind, what the fuck are you going to do about it?
Well, what me and you know, being quite reactionary, which isn't one of our strong points,
Right.
is sleep on it
Yes.
and see how you feel tomorrow. So we said, don't say anything
Because
to
the
the
next
guy.
thing you know, he's got no front teeth and you're in prison.
Yeah, it could be just he said this thing to us and it pissed us off because he accused us of something that we aren't, and
Came across like he had done anything.
Yeah, holier
It's
than
like
thou.
the kind of people who go, hey, I put a Ukrainian flag in my bio. All you're trying to say there, all you're trying to say is, I'm a good person. That's all you're trying to say. You have done nothing. You're not a fucking activist. You probably don't even know where the Ukraine is. You probably don't even know
point it
any
on
of
a
the
map.
history. I remember it with the Black Lives Matter square. And I made a post about it, and you said, don't, Mike, don't even.
yeah, because it's like admitting, oh, I'm sorry for being racist. I've never been
why
racist.
have you
Why
got
would I
a black
apologise?
square? Like, I'm looking at your staff. None of them are black, so...
Well, to quickly go back to like a Meghan Markle who really leaned on that. First of all, I didn't know she was black, but I watched that first.
It's not obvious, is it?
No, but I watched that first documentary, and it was just go and watch that first documentary she did on Netflix, and look at her childhood friends. Every single one of them is blonde and white. Every
Terrifyingly
single one.
white.
Whereas if you go through our entire life, rack
Yeah,
up
you
our
don't
friends.
even have to say that, though.
But
That's
I'm just saying, any normal person in today's society,
Yeah.
even any of my girlfriends that I've had, or any of your girlfriends, their friends are white, black, gay,
Yeah,
straight.
they got nothing
she
to do with
had
anything.
only white, blonde friends,
Right.
while saying, as a black woman, what the
Yeah,
fuck
well,
you-
we're pulling out some fucking tribe woman with a plate in her bottom lip and saying, I just think it's really...
I'm glad I could be here so you could see a woman like you can
a
be a
woman who
princess.
looks like you as a princess, and it's like, you don't
Woman's
look
got 500
anything...
rings on her neck. What the fuck are you talking about?
Who the fuck are you talking to?
Anyway, yes, that guy, we did sleep on it with that guy, and we woke up the day after and said, yeah, I hate that fucking guy more than I hated him last night.
Yeah.
And that's why we look at his social media, because it's so fucking fake. It's like, I'm a loving, giving man who cares, and it's always talking to a girl and looking her straight in the eyes. I feel for you. I understand you.
You're
as a
hurt here? Like, dude, I don't know.
Probably battering her.
Don't leave your drink unattended with him, love. He's a creep. Yeah, there's a vibe about he's beating her up, and then you found out that one of those guys was beating his girlfriend, and it's like, I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it. We should have taught him a lesson that day, but whatever. I mean, whatever. But I mean, let's wrap it up with the celebrity thing. But I think recently, just with... I was watching an old video from the Grammys or the Oscars. I can't remember which, but from like the 90s. I'm not particularly nostalgic for any period of time. But it showed me all these people, one of whom happens to have been Tom Hanks. There was like Julia Roberts, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Some of these people felt a bit more 80s than 90s to me, but whatever. When I looked at all of them, I thought, regardless of how they appear nowadays in modern society, whether you agree with them or not, and the fact that back then the publicists were probably controlling the narrative. So there's a good thing about today, about like social media.
No,
and
I'm
stuff
down
like
for
that.
not giving a shit about celebrities.
Yeah, and that you can make yourself famous on
We
social
should have never
media.
given a shit about them.
But I did look at I didn't give a shit. But I did look at them all and think, okay, it was like Robin Williams, talented. You know, Mark and Mindy was good in that.
Schwarzenegger.
Unbelievably talented. Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Unbelievably talented.
Good actor,
Yeah.
good actor.
Tom Hanks. I think one was Julia Roberts. But fine. You know, and then it goes on to today's, and it's like Will Smith's kids, some other fucking one-hit wonder.
Kanye West girlfriend who we don't know. Naked.
Some other forced puppet. Yeah, Kanye West girlfriend who doesn't say or do anything except for be naked. And I thought,
Beyonce
wow.
pretending to be surprised
Yeah.
that she won an award, of which, by the way, Jay-Z invested, I think, 20 million in paying.
Oh,
for
no, it was a lot more than that.
No, it's 20 million, and I think DJs playing it on radios. It was 40 million in like.
I was like, I saw
ad
one that was
spend.
like 140 million. I'm like, Jesus.
Which we could explain how the mechanics of that work, because we're in the industry and we've seen that machine in motion, and also understood that we've never been a part of it, but had to watch it play out in front of us and keep our mouths
Yeah,
shut.
and I've had to see other DJs like do it, you know, and I don't like to.
Called payola. It's where you pay to have your song on the radio, you pay to have your song in Zara and on different playlists, so you kind of get it in your head so much that the next thing you know, you're driving down the road going, this ain't Texas. Woo! So do you think that the reason that celebrities are kind of losing their shine is we wake up every day with a different tragedy. It's like we wake up and we go, oh my God, a plane's crashed, or oh my God, there's a new super virus around, or oh, there's a kid getting his head blown off on Twitter. And
I'm upside down in the Potomac River.
Yeah, they're pulling bodies out the Potomac and trying to identify them. They're looking for people's fingers in the Potomac, and you know.
I mean, we laugh at that, but is it only
Yeah,
the absurdity of the fact that there's people have got real problems.
Yeah,
and-
it's like they're dragging an entire child's figure skating team out of the Potomac River. The hills are on fire. There's some weird fog over the entire world at the moment that seems to be making us all sick. And Blake Lively's up there, bitching about, telling you all to wear patches on your jeans and wear your florals for the movie. And you're just like, shut the fuck up, you out of touch.
To conclude, I think the real turning point, I think it was already on its way down. Okay. It was on its way down fast. But the real turning point was COVID, with all that Imagine, standing on the balconies, clapping, which... You live in the hills.
David Geffen telling you that he's...
Yeah, isolated.
He's
on
isolated.
His mega yacht. And you live in the hills, and your neighbours are a particular brand of sort of sanctimonious hippie that we again suspect are...
Yeah, it's that thing where you've all been convinced as left and right, like we say. I mean, I guess me and my brother would be kind of viewed as left-wing with our ideals, but we love our right-wing friends as well. We believe there is no left and right. It's upstairs and downstairs, but... I live in a particular area of LA where the worst kind of liberal that you're thinking of, they live next door to me, and
they'll have a Ukraine flag or a BLM flag, whatever flag
t-shirt.
it is.
A t-shirt. They have a fucking walk around with a Bernie Sanders t-shirt. I loved Bernie Sanders. Okay, I know I don't like him particularly anymore. I think he was a massive letdown. But they walk around with a Bernie Sanders t-shirt while, like I say, yelling at
cursing out the Amazon delivery guy.
Yeah, cursing at every car that pulls up at my house, telling them, you can't park there, you're blocking a driveway, you came up the hill too fast.
Do you live here?
Do you live here? Why
here? Then what are you doing here?
How many guests have you got at your house? Like 2? Well, I don't know if you should have 2 people parked. What the fuck? Leave me alone.
The kind of people that if a black person walked up the road, they'd call the cops.
Yeah, they would call the cops. Yeah.
Meanwhile, they've got a
Yeah, I
BLM.
drive the Porsche home. They're cool. I drive the truck home. They've got a letter on my truck saying, "Don't park this truck here anymore. You don't live in this neighbourhood." Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do live in this neighbourhood.
And I know what you think. You think we're Mexican gardeners.
Yeah, they think it's a gardening truck because my truck looks like a gardening truck. That's why I park the truck here every day and drive the truck just to annoy my faux kind of liberal neighbours. They're not liberal at all. Look at the word liberal. It means...
Worst kind of people, yeah.
Exactly. Open to other people's...
Open-minded. Yeah. But I think during COVID, that was just it. My neighbourhood too, I'd go out onto my balcony at that particular point of the day just to hear them banging the pots and pans.
They did that here too.
Fucking
At one stage
idiots.
I heard them clapping and I thought, clapping and banging pots and pans and...
Yeah.
You fucking idiots. That does nothing. You fucking idiots. Lock your door and go in.
Yeah, I'll just go out. I don't know, but it was obnoxious to be lectured by people or to have people say, we understand because today, I had to stay home all day in my mega mansion, and we're like, hey, do I come to you for food? Yeah. We need food.
We need food. But nobody gets it right on all the podcasts because people are talking about this subject, which we've talked about for years, about the kind of, like I say, celebrities losing their shine, and they all say higher than thou. I think they say they mean holier than thou.
Is that they say higher than thou?
They keep saying it. It's annoying me. So there's holier than
wow.
Thou, puritanical. Listen to me because I'm such a good person. It's shut the fuck up. So my main, I think, in closing, celebrities just need to shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up and act.
Act.
It's our experience, especially where actors are concerned, that the best actors, I've met some who can, there are exceptions, but most of the actors that we've met, the reason that they're good actors is because they don't have a personality of their own. They have a void of personality. There's an empty space that they can install whatever personality they're going to be that day.
Mm-hmm. I met a friend recently, actually, and she was dating an actor. And he was nice enough, but it was just evident. They're not together anymore. That ended in an absolute nightmare. But it was evident to me that he was just trying on personalities. You know, he turned up and he pulls the chair out for her.
Oh, that's right,
And she sits down and he puts the chair in. And then he sits there and he orders and it's all posing. Yet when the bill came, it was me and the girl who I paid the bill in the end, but it was me and the girl. He shut his mouth.
I remember your ex dated a really famous actor, and he's on that billboard right outside my place, and he was playing like the macho guy. And when she'd call you, because you guys are still friends, far from
He'd get all
hooking up,
insecure.
he'd be screaming in the background, and it's like
He's
dude,
a really big actor,
you
by the way.
are
Really.
a multi-millionaire, world famous A-list actor, and you're screaming at like a fucking
Girl calling her DJ ex-boyfriend because like she's looking for a piece of paperwork for a visa or something.
yeah, it's like moronic, and the more and more I get to know a lot of these people, and then when I meet somebody who's got an actual personality, say something like that Kylie guy, like just an individual human being who's got an actual personality, a lot of the times I'm thinking, yeah, unless he was playing himself, he wouldn't be able to play anything else because there's no room left to install a
Well, we've been
personality.
told to act before, and we're not particularly good at it.
Well, yeah, I'm terrible. I think you're mildly better. I'm awful. Absolutely
I don't know what that
awful.
says about me.
Oh, I'm terrible. I mean, I
Anyway.
hate, I hate every minute of it. I don't even like to shoot music videos or have my photos taken anymore.
Nope.
Take more than 5 seconds to
I don't like to do podcasts on video.
No. Take more than 5 seconds to take my photo, and I'm like, just take the photo, or I'm doing a selfie from my phone and fucking
sending it
emailing
to
it to
you.
you. Anyway, so that's it. Yeah, celebrity culture. It's definitely over temporarily, and it's going to take actual, talent to bring it back to where it once was.
Yeah, and Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds is going to get interesting for me. I mean, just something to take me away from the constant reminder of war and the imminent World War III and end of the world. Should be entertaining to watch.
I think so, and there's on a personal level, I have nothing against these two human beings. Again, I could meet them one day and think, damn, they were really nice. I wish I'd never thought anything otherwise about them.
Yeah.
But there is a part of all of us that's like, ooh, I want this to get worse. I want to see these two like begging for change on the corner, just to have one strike back for the little guy, just to go, ha, you're bullies. That's what you are, and now you got your just desserts, and feels like a victory for all of us.
Well, we'll see. We'll probably have to talk about it again.
Yeah. Take care, guys.